wintry breezes blow. Bring along your ice and snow, 'cause I'll keep warm all winter with my sunny summer love. In an easy chair we'll hide, cuddle by a fireside. Oh, I'll keep warm all winter with my sunny summer love. Oh, let the summer go, let the winter start. The colder the weather, the warmer the heart. Every night will be like June. I won't need that harvest moon, 'cause I'll keep warm all winter with my sunny summer love.
It's time. You're listening to the National Edgar Allan Poe Theater on the Air. Sponsored in part by Baltimore's own Raven Beer, this ongoing series brings to your ears the best-known works from America's revered grandfather of horror and suspense. When last we met, the mysterious Dr. Mallard had just introduced us to the shadowy asylum where he cares for his children, little lost souls, in his words, in need of his care, and his revolutionary system to treat and cure the mentally crippled. In today's episode, the National Edgar Allan Poe Theater on the Air takes on Poe's horrifying tale of a grim reminder of love gone wrong, The Black Cat. Having just left the chamber of the tidy but obsessive housekeeper whose employer's heartbeat proved her undoing.
Don't humor me.
Imagine her.
Don't pretend.
This sensitive lady.
I know you can hear it.
A veritable angel of the house.
The beating of the old man's heart.
Professor Mallard leads us down the hall for a conversation with another of his children. Yes, as I say, early days in her cure. I cannot begin to tell you how rewarding and indeed surprising it has been to see my system work its magic upon even the most wretched of the poor lost souls that have taken refuge within these walls. There's time enough for details, but for now, suffice it to say that my view is that these unfortunate children under my care need only a calm voice, a firm hand, and a soothing environment to return them to the path of righteousness that the rest of us follow naturally. Soothing! Yes, a system of soothing. Quiet! My apologies. I didn't mean to startle you. Soothing takes on many forms, you see, and while the calm voice is our goal, the firm hand must sometimes lead the way. Treatment is a journey, after all, and what we encounter along the way dictates our next course of care. Ah, here we are. Cell number 2, the home of our next guest. Have no fear. Come in. He will not harm you. But, please, if he should ask, I'd advise you to make it clear that you do not own a pet. No animal of any kind, especially not a cat. Good evening, my boy. I've brought a guest to see you.
Ah, welcome to my abode. It may be humble, but it is my home. Please, be seated. How is the weather outside, and what news abroad? And tell me, do you own a cat? No? Do cats ever frequent your property? Again, you shake your head. Well, be thankful. Cats are pernicious. No more than that, they are poisonous creatures, more deadly than a serpent or a venomous spider. And to think that I am an animal lover. It's true. I lived in a menagerie with my wife, my dear, late wife.
There you are, my little chaps. Enjoy your seeds. I've fed all the birds. Whose turn next? Oh, I shall feed my lovely rabbits.
And the goldfish, and the puppies, and the monkey.
I don't ask you to assist me in my tasks.
Animals. The stench of this place.
I don't even ask you to humor me, my dearest.
Good. I'll sit here and taste some wine. Living in a blessed zoo. And now the cat. I have nothing for you.
See how much she loves you.
Ah, yes, I suppose she does. You're not such a bad girl, are you, young lady? There, sit upon my lap.
Be careful.
Oh, why so? The poor harmless girl showing me some affection?
You know what black cats are.
Oh, what nonsense are you talking now?
All black cats are witches in disguise.
What in the devil's name? Get off me!
Calm yourself.
The noise the beast made.
You simply spilled your wine upon her fur. Anyone would scream if drowned in wine. Except you, my dearest. You've been drowning yourself for years now.
Is it true that all black cats are witches?
Just superstition. An ancient popular notion, not to be taken seriously.
Our life was idyllic. My wife and all the animals, all forms of life within our happy home. The fish and the dog and the monkey and the cat. The cat. The cat. You look trustworthy. May I make a confession to you? Between the two of us, may I freely admit that I am partial to a drink? Yes, I like to imbibe. I taste. I sample. Only the finest wines, of course. And ale. And other stronger liquor. Perhaps I might admit to you only my friend, that I may have on occasion been lacking in temperance, and it was during one such lapse that I may have been, irritable. One night I was, see how willingly I confess, very much intoxicated. I returned home from one of the hostelries in town. Where is that bottle? A well-deserved nightcap before slumber. Ah, there you are, my girl. Come here, sit upon my lap. Oh, hiss at me, will you? Come here. Ah! My hand, I'm bleeding! I'll teach you some manners, you beast. Corkscrews are not only used for bottles. I'll teach you to give me dirty looks.
Oh, my heavens!
What is it now, you damned...
The cat! A terrible wound to her eye.
What?
Her eye, it's been torn out, poor thing.
Let me see it. Oh.
What could have happened?
It must have been a fight.
What?
Just squabbling over territory and...
My dear.
Innocent creature. Let me bathe your wound. Your poor eye.
Let me do it. You're overwrought, my dearest.
Innocent, unoffending brute. The wound healed, though remained hideous to behold. She never came to me, but would stare with her one eye, resolutely, unblinking, judging me, weighing up my fate, plotting her revenge. All black cats are witches in disguise. She was concocting something. But listen to me. Who has not 100 times found himself committing a vile action for no other reason than because he knew he should not? One morning, I yielded to perverseness. In cold blood, I slipped a noose about the black cat's neck and hung her from the limb of a tree. Believe me, tears streamed from my eyes. Remorse was bitter in my heart. I hanged the cat because I knew she had once truly loved me and was blameless. I hanged her because I knew it was a deadly sin that would jeopardize my immortal soul. I wanted to be beyond the infinite mercy of God. I am a sinner and I confess my fault. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name.
Oh, troubled fellow, is he not? I can see you're perturbed yourself. Animal cruelty overwhelming to you? No, seriously, let me surmise you wonder why a man who merely killed a cat should be in my care. Well, there's more to his story than the cat, but let us wait for him to finish his devotions. He will tell you the whole tale, most lucidly.
The power and the glory forever and ever. Amen. A drink, if you please.
A cup of water, the only drink for you.
When the cat was dead, stiff and swaying in the breeze, I cut her down and buried her in a shallow hole. I kept a hasty eye on the window of my house in case my wife should spy me.
Here, puss, puss, puss. Where is she? Where can she be? I have food for you. Puss, puss, puss. Have you seen her?
Who?
The cat, of course. Haven't you heard me calling?
No, I fear the worst. She may have been prey to other cats, or vicious dogs, or young hooligans in the neighborhood.
I'm worried her wounded eye is overcoming her. It's never fully healed, and she's clearly in bitter pain, which she bears like a stoic.
More likely a dog, or...
Do not worry. She will return. I have no doubt about it. She will return to us.
Yes, I believe you. I am sure you are right. My wife's promise that the cat would return filled me with terror. In the garden, I thought I could see her in the shadows of the tree. In the house at night, I thought I could hear her yowl. Oftentimes, I felt her cold eyes staring at me. So I took to visiting hostelries. Oh, don't get me wrong, I only frequented the most reputable of places. More ale.
You look thirsty.
It's true. I need quenching.
Here you go, sir. Bet you could drain it down in one draft.
My intentions exactly.
Thirsty fella. Another one, sir?
Yes. And thank you for the good company.
You're welcome. Here you go. Another for you.
You see, my wife
Doesn't understand you, I suppose.
only understands her animals.
Begging your pardon?
I live in a menagerie. Birds, rabbits, goldfish, puppies, even a monkey.
But the cat loves you. The black cat?
Cat? What black cat? Why do you say that?
No offense, sir. I just noticed the cat that's staring at you now from the corner of the room.
Where?
Over there. She hasn't taken her eyes off you.
Great heavens. Oh, I see. Yes. Isn't it your cat? Lives here in the bar?
Not mine, sir. I assumed she'd come in with you. Never seen her before.
What's she staring at me for?
Look at her. Can't you see her doting, loving looks?
She is a beauty.
I think she heard you. Here she comes, up on your lap. She loves you.
Yes. Yes, she does. Beautiful thing.
You finally found a lady who understands you. You can take her home if you want.
Come on, girl. Let's go home. My dear! My dear, are you awake?
So you're back, are you? Intoxicated, no doubt. You dissolute wretch. You drunken skunk.
No need to quarrel, my dear. Look what I have brought home for you.
What can you have brought home that I could possibly want? Cheap liquor and empty flagons? I know where you've been.
Oh, no, my dear, no need to fret so. When I said what I have brought home, I should have said who I have brought home.
Who? You mean you've brought home a guest?
Come down, my dear.
I'm afraid I wasn't expecting anyone at such a... There's no one here. What nonsense is this?
Look. Look in my arms.
A cat? Oh, isn't she pretty? And so friendly. Where'd you get her?
I purchased her for you, my dear. I thought we had room for a sweet little cat.
Really? How sweet of you.
Pure midnight black, like our beloved old cat.
Not wholly black.
What makes you say that?
Look how some fur is growing white around her neck, like a collar.
Or like a noose. The cat's affections for me never desisted. She never gave me a moment's peace. She never left me alone. Whenever I sat, she would crouch beneath my chair or jump upon my lap, covering me with caresses. Loathsome caresses. When I walked, she would get between my feet and nearly trip me over. At such times, my impulse was to destroy her with a blow, but I stopped myself. Partly because I remembered my former crime, but mainly, I will openly confess, because I was absolutely terrified of the beast. All black cats are witches in disguise. And as my terror grew, so did the white mark that encircled her neck, and she fussed more and more, begging for caresses. And when I fell into slumber, I had dreams of unspeakable fear and found the hot breath of the black cat as it purred into my face, and she seemed to be a vast weight, like an incarnate nightmare that I had no power to shake off as she lay eternally upon my heart. Then one day, my sin was complete, and my fate was sealed. I was on a household errand in the cellar of the house. The cat followed me down the steep stairs, and wrapping herself around my ankles, nearly threw me headlong. Exasperated unto madness, I grabbed an axe.
Stop! What are you doing? Put the axe down!
Do not interfere with my business.
To think you pretended to love the cat. Foul dissembler, give me the axe.
Stand back, this doesn't concern you.
Give me the axe at once.
You want the axe? Here, have it, my dear. And my wife lay dead. I left the axe buried in her brain, but the cat scampered away. You see, I should have killed the cat, and not my wife. The black cat. My simple household errand had suddenly transformed into a different one. The necessity to hide a corpse, and fortune smiled on me. I was in the cellar, a place ideal for the task in hand. You see, its brick walls were loosely constructed, and upon inspection, I found one section of wall that was evidently hollow. I wasted no time in grabbing a crowbar, and I dislodged the bricks at this point. I heaved the corpse into the hole I made, and began my handiwork in bricking up the cavity. And I prepared a mixture of mortar, sand, and hair with which to plaster over my reconstructed wall. My labor was not in vain. I was free. In fact, even better, I felt redeemed. You see, not only was my wife dead, but the cat, the black cat, was nowhere to be seen. Having beheld my judgment of my meddling wife, the monster must have prudently taken heed and fled in terror. The departure of the cat reinvigorated me. With my wife gone, I even came to understand her love of the menagerie. If only you could have seen with what loving care I fed the goldfish in their bowl, the rabbits in their hutch, the monkey in his little cage. Oh, it was a blissful time. My happiness was supreme. But on the fourth day, after I had dealt with my wife... Hello?
Good afternoon, sir.
Can I help you?
It's been reported that your wife's not been seen in some time.
Yes, it's true. She has gone away.
May I come in, sir?
I am rather busy. I have animals to feed, and they are rather bashful.
I insist.
Yes, of course. Come in. I have nothing to hide.
Thank you. If it is acceptable, sir, I shall have a look around the premises.
Yes, do so. I'll be in here, feeding the birds. My little caged birds. Nothing. You'll find nothing. Oh, there, my little chaps. Enjoy your seeds. Who's next? Oh, my lovely rabbits. I have just the thing for you.
All seems in order, sir. I've searched the house. Nothing untoward. Are you sure your wife didn't...
Have you searched the cellar?
The cellar? No, I haven't, sir. Didn't realize you had one.
Oh, yes. And I've been working on it of late. Quite proud of my handiwork, repairing and cleaning up the place. This way. This way.
Very good, sir. Well, there's clearly no one here. I shall take my leave.
This is a very well-constructed house.
I have no doubt of it.
I may even say it is an excellently constructed house. No, wait. See, look at these walls. So solidly put together.
What in God's name? What on earth? Stand away from the wall, now.
But I...
What is going on behind that wall? I'll take that crowbar, please. Give me that crowbar. Stand aside. Heaven's name.
So that's where you got to, you devil. You hadn't fled. I buried you within the tomb. And yes, officer, that is my beloved wife. Not as pretty as she was. You see, I was trying to kill the cat. I should have killed the cat and not my wife. No, I should have killed the cat first, and then my wife.
And that is his story.
I'll hang tomorrow, like a black cat.
Don't worry, he will not hang. We cannot hang the mad, much as we might like.
Black cats are pernicious creatures. Witches in disguise. Treacherous monsters. Tell me, do you own a cat?
Let us take our leave.
I should have killed the cat first, and then my wife. And I'll hang tomorrow. Like a black cat.
We'll gain nothing more from him. His tale is done. Let us leave him to his contemplations in solitude.
Like a black cat?
What conclusion should we draw? Do not keep pets? Maybe. Avoid the demon drink. We would not give a child liquor, and you will have seen I give him pure water. It is water that will cleanse him morally, physically. My system will work, I am sure of it. What? You require more evidence. It is true that I don't try and cure all of my inmates with water. Horses for courses, my friend. What's that? You want to meet more of my children? I couldn't be more delighted. It's only a few steps to my next fascinating case. You've been listening to the National Edgar Allan Poe Theatre on the Air and our production of The Black Cat, adapted for radio by Richard J. Hand. The Black Cat was directed by Jay Brock and produced by Ty Ford, with the voices of Brian McDonald, Jennifer Restak, and Alex Zabistovich. Poe Theatre theme by Greg Martin. The National Edgar Allan Poe Theater on the Air is sponsored in part by Baltimore's own Raven Beer, purveyors of Poe-inspired craft beer. More information can be found on the web at www.ravenbeer.com. More information on the National Edgar Allan Poe Theater on the Air can be found at poetheater.org. Until next time, this is Alex Savastovich reminding you that all we see or seem is but a dream within a dream.
Soon you'll be able to walk into your Admiral dealer's store and confidently buy the style radio or radio phonograph you want. The selection of Admiral radios will be complete. There'll be radio phonographs with the famous Admiral exclusive features, slide away that makes loading and unloading your record changer so easy, and the foolproof Admiral automatic record changer. There'll be consoles and table models and newly designed cabinets of fine woods and modern plastics. There'll be farm sets and portables in many styles and sizes, including the popular Admiral Bantam, the camera-type radio that operates on alternating current, direct current, or self-contained batteries. There'll be new electronic refinements and AM, FM, and shortwave reception. And now about television. Admiral's extensive research assures television receivers with true Admiral quality. So, whatever you want in radio, you'll find it in an Admiral, Amereica's smart set. You can get a very good idea of what Admiral will offer if you'll write for a free copy of the new, full-colored booklet entitled It's a Promise from Admiral. Just write your name and address on a penny postcard and mail it to Admiral in care of this radio station. That's all. Just your name and address mailed to Admiral at this station.
Pepsodent invites you to have a date with Judy. You know Judy Foster, a typical American girl in a typical American family. Well, let's see. It's a quiet evening in the Foster house. Mother is sewing, father is reading, Randolph is tying Boy Scout knots, and Judy is glumping because she doesn't have a date. Mother looks up.
Melvin.
Yes, dear.
I had a letter from Grandma today. You did, Mother? What'd you say? She's worried about Aunt Lily.
Why is she worried about Aunt Lily?
Well, because
Don't tell me. Let me guess. Because Aunt Lily isn't married.
Well, yes.
Well, that's nothing new. Grandma's been worrying about that for the last 10 years.
I was just thinking, maybe we ought to have Lily here for a visit. A sweet girl like Lily.
Girl? Mother, she's 34 years old.
Well, really, Judy, that isn't the last stage of senility, you know.
They're girls to Mother till rigor mortis sets in.
I'm going to write Aunt Lily to come, and we'll see if we can't find somebody for her.
Maybe Judy could get her a date. Me? I'm having enough trouble getting dates for myself. I haven't had a date for 3 nights. Well, what are you complaining about? Aunt Lily hasn't had a date for 3 years.
That isn't so. I'm sure lots of young men have been extremely fond of Aunt Lily.
In 34 years, they've had lots of time to. The problem is, how can we dig her up a man? Digging him up might be a good idea. Gee, come to think of it, I know somebody old enough for Aunt Lily. Oh, who? Mr. Manchester. He's a librarian at the library. I bet he's 35 if he's a day. And he's a day, all right.
Why, that's a simply wonderful idea. But I wonder how we should go about asking him.
Well, I could kind of take a book out of the library and just sling the invitation to him.
We could invite him to dinner the very first night Aunt Lily's here.
Oh, sure. We wouldn't want to waste any time. After 34 leisurely years, we got to step on it.
That's only the beginning of your date with Judy, chaperoned by Pepsodent. How would you like to find out if your present toothpaste is really doing what you think it is? Maybe it's letting you down. Now, here's the way to find out. Run the tip of your tongue over your teeth. Can you feel a filmy coating? That's what makes teeth dingy, and it's a sign that you'd better switch to Pepsodent toothpaste tonight. Pepsodent with Irium is the new high-speed toothpaste with the fresh taste and the super cleansing ingredients. It removes that dingy coating from teeth, makes them so brilliantly clean they feel shiny smooth and they look sparkling bright. So hunt up a collapsible metal tube from any product and take it to your drug counter tonight to exchange for a new tube of Pepsodent toothpaste. And now, back to A Date with Judy.
Melvin, my goodness.
Hello, Lily. Well, it's certainly good to see you.
Do I get a kiss from my favorite brother-in-law?
You sure do, Lily.
You good father, he'd be perfect.
Well, I'm starved. When's that guy going to get here?
Guy? Dora, have you invited someone else to dinner? Well, yes, in a way. Man?
Well, yes, in a way.
Oh, Dora, Lily, you didn't have... Now, Lily, this is just sort of an accident. As a matter of fact, we'd invited this gentleman to dinner long before we knew you were coming.
Oh, yes, eons before. I'll go. Now, I wonder who that could be.
Good evening.
Oh, good evening, Mr. Manchester.
Very kind of you to stop at the library this afternoon. Invite me to dinner.
This afternoon? Oh, that's perfectly all right, Mr. Manchester. Come in. I'd like you to meet my, a friend of mine, Lily Rogan.
How do you do?
How do you do?
And you know the rest of the family.
Oh, my, what a formal introduction. Suppose I do it all over. Lily, this is Donald. Donald, this is Lily.
How do you do?
How do you do?
Do people ever call you Don?
Oh, yes, indeed. At college, Ohio Wesley in 1924, they called me Don. Or Manchi.
Isn't that cute? Manchi. Isn't that cute, Lily? Yes, indeed.
Well, now that that's over, when are we going to have dinner?
My Aunt Lily cooked every inch of it from soup to nuts.
I, Randolph, I did not. Lily is so modest.
Well, how's business, Mr. Manchester? Business? Yeah. Oh, very good. We collected 32 cents in fines today. Oh, really?
Mr. Manchester is the new librarian, Lily. Lily is very interested in books, Mr. Manchester.
Oh?
She'd make a wonderful wife for somebody who was interested in literary things.
Judy!
My, that was a fine dinner, Mrs. Foster.
Thank you. Melvin, aren't you planning to go to your, lodge meeting tonight?
Why, no. My lodge meets on Thursdays.
Oh. Well, the Exalted High Counselor called, and said it was moved up to tonight. Early tonight.
Are you going out tonight, Mother, as if I didn't know?
Well, yes, I am. My Red Cross class meets tonight.
I thought that met on Fridays.
Well, during emergencies, they call special sessions.
Yes. Well, my goodness, I must say this isn't very sociable of us to run off like this, but it will give you two a chance to get acquainted.
Oh, really, Dora? You don't have to do that.
Judy and Randolph are going out in the kitchen and wash the dishes. Aren't you, dears?
Well, I guess we are. I guess.
And then they go right to bed, so you won't have to worry about them disturbing you. Well, come on, Melvin.
Thank you very much for the dinner, Mrs. Foster.
Oh, that's all right. Good night.
Good night. Well, Dora, what are we going to do tonight?
What do you think we're going to do? You're going to take me to a movie.
Are they still in the living room? Stay back here in the hall, Judy. I'll take a quick peek. Are they? Yeah. He's on one end of the Davenport and she's on the other. Let me look. Gosh, she isn't turning on the heat, is she?
Personally, Mr. Manchester, I prefer Dickens' later works. Great Expectations always seem to me a little, immature.
Jeepers, I'd never handle him that way.
My favorite work of Dickens is Nicholas Nickleby, although I have found great charm in Pickwick Papers.
Me, I find no charm in this conversation.
Have you read much of Pope and Dryden?
Yes, I have.
Poor Aunt Lily. She doesn't know beans about men. She's a rank amateur. Well, I wouldn't call either of them great lovers.
Don't you love the lilt of Pope's rhyme couplets?
Yes, I do.
Isn't that awful? Hey, he's getting up. Maybe we'll see some action now.
Oh, my. 9:45. It's getting late.
Getting late. It was charming meeting you, Mr. Manchester. I hope I'll see you soon.
I hope so, too.
This is the critical moment. If he asks her for a date now, she's in. Otherwise, she's cooked.
Good night, Ben.
Good night.
She's cooked.
What are you doing a week from tomorrow night, Miss Rogan?
Wednesday? Well, nothing.
He came through. But a week from tomorrow night. Yeah, I wouldn't exactly call it a whirlwind courtship.
I wonder if I might come to call.
Call? He's one of those parlor poppers.
Oh, I'd be very happy to see you.
Well, good night then, Miss Rogan.
Good night, Mr. Manchester.
Well, he's gone. Yikes, at a 1 a week rate, it'll take her till Christmas. You know, Randolph, I think I'll have to give her some advice about men. You mean you're going to part with some of your vast store of knowledge on the subject? If it helps her yoke a bloke, I'd be glad to. Well, you've sure done enough research on the subject. Aunt Lily, I hate to say this, but frankly, your technique is a little oogie. There speaks the voice of experience. Aunt Lily, tell me frankly, do you have a yen for Mr. Yanchester?
A yen? Oh, why, Judy, I hardly know the man.
What's that got to do with it? I asked you if you had a yen for him.
Well, I think he's very intelligent.
In Aunt Lily's language, that's a yen. Look, Aunt Lily, one of the first principles of getting a guy gaga about you is to be glamorous in his eyes. Now, for instance, take Edgar.
Who's Edgar?
This guy I go with. He's gaga about me. Calls me up night and day. Now, the first thing I did when I wanted to make him wacky... And he was that way to begin with, believe me.
Randolph, please.
How can I give Aunt Lily any advice? Well, the first thing I did was find out what moving picture star was his ideal. Then I simply made myself look like that star, and there I was.
Do you always do that?
Well, sure. This week she's Dorothy Lamour for Edgar, and a couple of weeks ago she was Lana Turner for Gerald.
Oh, for goodness sake.
Her Lana Turner's okay, but her Dorothy Lamour is very nerve-wracking.
It is not, Randolph.
Aunt Lily, I'll guarantee this will work.
Do you think so, Judy?
I'm positive.
Well, I'm not so sure, but, well, give me the works.
Now, Andre, I want you to make Aunt Lily positively umphy.
I will make her so umphy it will hurt.
Good. You can start with a mud pack, and then an ice pack, and after the glacial a facial, and then an eyebrow press and an eyelash curl. This is not goo, Aunt Lily. It's perfectly terrific lipstick, isn't it, Andre?
Glamour number 5, no less.
Positively kiss-proof and everything.
Now, pucker up your lips, Aunt Lily.
And Andre, when you finish the manicure, give her a pedicure.
The passion red nail polish on her feet, too?
Of course.
Oh, the passion red nail polish. He is so passionate.
Gee, Missy, what did Judy want to come over here for? Well, she said that something startling was going to emerge from the beauty shop. She wanted both of us to pass on it. Well, here it comes. Hello, Missy. Hi, Randolph.
Hello, Randolph.
Aunt Lily. Aunt Lily, this is Mitzi. I asked her to drop by to, well, sort of give you the once-over.
Oh, really, Judy? Do you have to call them perfect strangers?
Oh, Mitzi isn't a perfect stranger. She's my best girlfriend. Besides, she's practically an authority on glamour, aren't you, Mitzi? Well, practically. Doesn't Aunt Lily look perfectly yummy? She sure does. Me, I haven't been able to take my eyes off Aunt Lily since she came out of the beauty parlor. And I see a couple of pedestrians with the same idea.
Oh, I don't know whether they're staring at me or glaring at me.
Let's go. Just wait till you get home and Mother sees you. She'll be insane about you. And as for Father, they'll have to put him in an institution. Yeah, Lily, don't you feel just like a movie star?
Well, I certainly don't feel like myself.
I think you wow any man you meet, if you just remember to turn on the heat.
Turn on the heat.
That's what I've been trying to tell her, Mitzi. She needs just give with the stuff, Aunt Lily. You know, quick on the trigger.
Give with the stuff?
It's really very easy. For instance, what repartee would you hand out if a man said to you, "Come on, Mouse, let's growl"?
Oh, no man I know would ever say, "Come on, Mouse, let's growl."
You'd better listen to Mitzi, Aunt Lily. Her advice has been very successful with me. All I'm trying to do is make a cuddle cat out of you.
Well, I'm not so sure I want to be a cuddle cat.
Why, you do too, Aunt Lily. Go ahead, Mitzi. All right. Now, what do you come back with when somebody says to you, "What's cooking, good looking?"
I don't know.
You come back with, "Soup, Droop."
I do.
Well, blow me down. Look who that is over there across the street. Why, it's Mr. Manchester.
Oh, my.
Why, Aunt Lily, under that glam roller number 5, you're blushing. He's coming over to talk to us. Now, remember, Aunt Lily, sparkle. Be enthusiastic. Act hip.
Do I look all right?
You look like a house afire.
That's what I'm afraid of.
You want to make a positive impression on this guy, Miss Rogan?
Oh, yes, I do.
Then hand out the goo. Do like Mitzi said. Talk about his necktie and his shoulders and his chest extension.
Well, I'll try. Oh, here he comes.
Oh, Miss Rogan.
Oh, dear.
Miss Rogan.
Good luck, Aunt Lily.
Good afternoon, Miss Rogan. And hello, children.
Hello. Hi, Nancy.
What, Miss Rogan?
What's cooking? Good looking.
Beg pardon?
That's a very beautiful necktie you have on. And so are your shoulders.
What was that, Miss Rogan?
And you've got a very snazzy chest extension.
Why, Miss Rogan?
When are you coming over to dinner again, Mr. Manchester?
Why, I don't know.
You know what we're having for dinner tonight?
Well, no,
We're having soup, Drew.
Oh, my goodness.
You're doing fine, Miss Rogan.
Would you like to come to dinner tonight, Mr. Manchester?
Well, I hardly think I can make it.
Come over and growl, Mouse.
Well, some other time, perhaps.
Oh, but Mr. Manchester.
Well, the fact is, I have a library committee meeting tonight, and I must attend. I'm dreadfully sorry.
I'll see you next Wednesday, then.
Well, I'm not absolutely sure that I can make it. That is, I'll have to let you know. Well, I'm very glad I saw you. I'm sorry I have to dash.
Goodbye, Mr. Manchester.
Goodbye. I really have to dash.
Well, that certainly was a dashing conversation. I can't understand it. You were just wonderful, Aunt Lily. Yeah. You certainly sparkled and everything.
Yes, I sparkled all right. Sparkled him right out of my life.
Well, he certainly did have a funny reaction. Oh, well, Aunt Lily, don't bother about him. If he had funny reactions like that, I just wouldn't waste any time on him. I certainly wouldn't. He acted like an ick.
He did not. He's a sweet, sensible man, and I like him very much.
Jeepers, I never thought love would enter into this.
Well, Judy and Randolph seem to be doing it the hard way. We'll see what happens on your date with Judy in just a moment. You know, there's a hard way and an easy way to do everything. The hard way to learn if your teeth are dingy, if your smile is unattractive, is to watch the reaction of your friends. If they seem to avoid you, that may be a clue. The easy way to learn about your smile takes 2 seconds and spares you lots of embarrassment. Now, here's all you do. Run the tip of your tongue over your teeth. Feel that filmy coating? That dingy film collects stains on your teeth, spoils the effect of your smile, and there's no reason in the world why you should put up with it. For Pepsodent toothpaste removes that filmy coating you can feel with your tongue. Pepsodent with Irium is a clean-tasting toothpaste with super cleansing ingredients. It foams through your mouth in millions of refreshing bubbles that loosen and flush away the dingy film from your teeth. When you brush your teeth with Pepsodent, they're so clean they pass the tongue test. They feel clean, and they look so sparkling and shiny, everybody likes to see you smile. Tomorrow may be your big day, so go to your drug counter tonight and say, Pepsodent toothpaste, please. And remember to take an empty tube, any size, from any product, to exchange for your new tube of Pepsodent. Well, let's see what's happening now on Your Date with Judy.
Randolph, I feel terrible. Aunt Lily's been practically in tears ever since we got home. She's practically ruining her makeup. Well, to me, she looks better with it ruined. You know, Randolph, I think she goes for Mr. Manchester. Well, she'll never marry him if we keep helping her. Do you know what I'm going to do, Randolph? I hate to think. I'm going to offer her Edgar. Edgar? What's she going to do with him? Well, haven't you ever heard of the eternal triangle? When Mr. Manchester hears Aunt Lily's going out with Edgar, well, you know what we'll have? What? Jealousy. I'm calling Edgar right now.
Hello?
Oh, is that you, Edgar?
Yeah, what do you want, Judy?
How would you like to have a date?
Huh?
Isn't this a slight reversal of form?
Oh, sure, Judy, anytime you say.
How about tonight?
Well, when do I pick you up?
Oh, the date's not with me. It's with a new girl who just came to town. A terribly new girl, just 34 years old. Be quiet, Randolph. Is it a date, Edgar?
Hey, what are you trying to pass off on me? Some witch?
Why, Edgar, what a way to talk. This girl's just about the cutest number you ever felt.
All right, what's the matter with her?
Nothing. She's very young and very attractive. And hasn't had a date for 6 years. Randolph. Edgar, will you do this for me?
Well, all right. I'll do it if you'll promise to go with me to the summer prom.
It's a date. Now come right over and pick up Aunt Lily.
Aunt Lily? Okay, Judy. I'll be right over.
He's going to do it. Aunt Lily! Aunt Lily! Yes, Judy? Aunt Lily, I've got you a date with a new man. I don't want a date with a new man. Why, Aunt Lily, don't be silly. You didn't want a date with Mr. Manchester, and just look how he turned out. Yeah, just look. Now, Aunt Lily, it's absolutely imperative you impress Edgar, because then you'll get dates with other boys. And the first thing you know, it'll get back to Mr. Manchester. You're chasing around with everybody. Will that be good? He'll be eaten up. Now, look, Aunt Lily, we've got to rebuild your personality entire. Again? Oh, no. We're going to rehearse. Randolph, you're Edgar. I'm who? You pretend you're dating Aunt Lily. Okay, I'm in the Edgar mood. Here I come, ready or not. Judy, somehow my heart isn't in this. Remember, it's all for Mr. Manchester. Well, Randolph? Why, my dear Miss Rogan, it's a pleasure to see you again. May I kiss your hand? Randolph, you know Edgar doesn't talk like that. You don't have to be so Shakespearean. Oh, excuse me. The Manchester influence. Okay, I'll start over. Hi, Goon, let's spoon. That's too abrupt, Randolph. It's too abrupt. Don't you understand? Try it again. Oh, dear, that must be it. We haven't had time to rehearse. Oh, it really doesn't make much difference, Judy. Hello, Edgar. Hiya, Judy. Edgar, I want you to meet your date, Aunt Lily. Aunt Lily, this is Edgar. Edgar, this is Miss Rogan.
How do you do? How do you do? It is a pleasure to meet you.
Gee, he's positively Shakespearean. Edgar, Lucas, what are you doing over at my house so early in the morning?
I couldn't sleep, so I just thought I'd come over.
Did you have a nice time with Aunt Lily last night?
Judy, I gotta talk to you.
Well, of course, go ahead.
Judy, I'm fats about her.
Oh,
Lily.
Aunt Lily?
Don't keep calling her Aunt Lily. She's hardly any older than you are.
Why, Edgar Wilson, she's twice my age. And yours, too.
That's just it. She's so mature.
Edgar Wilson, have you got a crush on Aunt Lily?
Don't call it a crush. That sounds so, childish. And Lily's so spiritual and womanly and everything. Judy, I'm going to ask you something.
What?
Do you think I have a right to ask Lily to wait for me?
Wait for you?
Well, yeah, just until I finish high school.
Edgar, you're out of your mind.
No, I'm not. A lot of men have married older women. Why, when I'm 60, she'll only be 77. And gee whiz, when you're 70.
Oh, Bud, I never thought this would happen.
Judy, would you mind just awfully if I took Lily to the summer prom instead of you?
Oh, Terry.
May I see Lily, please?
She's still sleeping. Do you want me to wake her?
Oh, no. I wouldn't disturb her sylvan dreams for anything. I'll come back later. Bye, Judy. Oh, Lily Bell, oh, Lily Bell.
This is Green. Randolph, come here, I need you. What's the matter now, Miss Fairfax? The triangle just backfired. Edgar is gaga about Aunt Lily. Now I have seen everything. And me. I'm just positively gaga about Edgar. Oh, Randolph, I'm desperate. Aunt Lily's in grave danger. Of what? Being robbed by the cradle? Something for our own blood relation, Aunt. Sweet and selfish little Judy. Of course you aren't worried about holding Edgar or anything. Randolph, don't quibble. What'll we do? Well, let me put my brain to it. I'll think of something. Now, don't be so desperate, Judy. You'll get your man back. Hey, if Edgar had married Aunt Lily, he'd be my uncle. Well, like I've been telling you, Mr. Manchester.
Hush, no loud talking in the library, Randolph.
Well, what I've been trying to tell you is that my Aunt Lily's been running around with another man.
She has?
Yeah, he's practically on the verge of almost proposing to her.
Hush. He is?
Yeah, it's one of those whirlwind courtships. He's got her practically swept off her feet.
Hush. Oh, that's terrible.
It likes her because she's so simple and intellectual and everything. You know that day we saw you in the street. She was just made up that way because she was going to a masquerade.
Hush. A masquerade? I never thought of that.
Yeah, she was going as Judy. Everybody had to go with something funny. You heard her practicing talking like Judy.
Yes, I did. A masquerade. Well, that's wonderful news.
Of course. Now, if you move fast, you may still be in time to stop the elopement. There may be a ladder outside of a window this very moment.
Randolph, I'm going to move faster than I've ever moved in all my life.
Mr. Manchester, hush.
Where is she?
Well, good afternoon, Mr. Manchester.
Where is she?
Where's who?
Lily, of course.
Well, I guess she's upstairs in her room.
Oh, quick before she escapes.
Mr. Manchester, are you going upstairs?
We've got to stop that elopement.
Oh, yes, of course. Elopement?
There may be a steplighter outside her window this very moment.
Well, if there is, this is the first I've heard of it.
Lily! Lily! Where are you, Lily?
Who's doing all that yelling?
Mother, what's happening around here? I don't know. Mr. Manchester just ran upstairs like a crazy man.
I wonder what made him do that.
Gee, I hope he doesn't see Aunt Lily. She isn't a bit half or glamorous today. She's just herself again.
Oh, that same old personality she used to have.
I found her. I've got her.
Hey, look at him. He's holding Aunt Lily downstairs like a caveman. Down, Donald. Put me down.
He likes it.
I want to say something, Lily. I want to say it right here in front of everybody. Don't do it, Lily.
Do what? I can't imagine.
Lily, call off that elopement.
Why, Lily, what's been going on in this house? Oh, I wouldn't know.
I'll make you a devoted husband even though my courtship hasn't been whirlwind.
Sounds mighty whirlwind to me.
Blows me completely over.
Donald, are you proposing?
Well, I guess I am.
Take him up on it quick, Aunt Lily. All right. I accept you, Donald.
Hey, they're engaged.
Just as soon as I get my breath, I'll congratulate you.
Lily, I think I'm going to kiss you.
Oh, not here, Donald.
Oh, go ahead, Aunt Lily. It's fun.
Children, I just got another letter from Grandma.
What'd she say?
Well, let me see. She says, I'm very happy to hear about Lily's engagement, and, oh, good heavens.
What's the matter, Mother?
She's sending Aunt Gertrude and Cousin Georgiana to visit us. She wants us to get them married, too.
You have just heard A Date with Judy, the story of an American family. Let's join the Foster family again for a moment.
Gee, Mother, I had a good week.
You did, dear?
Yes, I had 5 dates. One with Ogin, and one with Hank, and one with Skunky.
Answer the door, Randolph.
Yes, Mother.
Within 20 minutes after the receipt of this order for deportation, You, together with the members of all your family, should be ready for departure and wait in the street outside your house. You may take with you one set of clothing, one woolen blanket per person, food for several days, birth certificate, not more than $20.
Fantastic. No, not at all. Hundreds of thousands of Dutch, Belgians, Poles, French have heard that order read. It is being read this very minute in some black corner of Europe. People are victims. Always the quiet, innocent people like you. Old and young, women with babies in their arms. And it can happen here.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it can happen here, unless we stamp it out over there. And that means guns and tanks and planes. Not only more than the enemy has. Not air supremacy, but air and ground mastery. That takes money. Every day, every hour. More planes must be built, more guns made, more tanks manufactured.
That's right, Dora. Buying a few bonds isn't enough. We must buy bonds regularly so we can make the engines of war without stopping. Every quarter we invest in war bonds sends 12 bullets ripping into Axis tank columns. Every dollar we invest turns our war wheels faster, grinds our enemies smaller. That's why our government urges us to put at least 10% of our earnings into war bonds. That's why millions of Americans have already joined the 10% club by buying war bonds regularly every payday. The best way to safeguard our future is to destroy completely everything the Axis stands for, with bullets, with planes, with tanks. And it'll take money. 10% of it every payday to do the job.
My dad's a member of the 10% club, aren't you, Dad?
That's right, Randolph. Because we know that every day, every dime counts in lives and blood. We hope you buy your quarter of war bonds tomorrow.
A Day with Judy came to you from Hollywood. This is the National Broadcasting Company.